Congratulations on deciding to pursue a home in San Carlos. My family and I love living here, and I am confident you will find the same joy we have in calling San Carlos home. Now, as you are likely well aware, many others have stumbled upon this wonderful town as well, and are also trying to find a home, making the process very competitive. My name is Bob Bredel, and I am fortunate enough to be the #1 realtor for San Carlos Properties for the last 10 years. I am a San Carlos native and co-founder of Dwell Realtors in downtown San Carlos. In this video, I'm going to discuss what makes buying a home in San Carlos unique and share tips to help you successfully navigate the home buying process. The process of buying a home has grown increasingly complicated. MLS properties, off-market properties, multiple offers, low days on market, waiving of contingencies, nonsensical comparables, the list goes on and on. I would encourage you to do one thing before we go any further: breathe. A lot of what makes purchasing a home in San Carlos stressful for buyers is a very loose strategy based on bad information, bad advice, and poor execution. It's time to stop the insanity. As a San Carlos buyer, your goal is very simple: obtain the best possible property to suit your needs while paying the lowest possible price. It really isn't any more complicated than that. Why are many buyers so frustrated with a process that should seem relatively straightforward? In my experience, they struggle due to 3 primary reasons. Number 1, their lack of experience guidance. 2, a lack of understanding of how the San Carlos market works. 3, careless offer packaging. Let's dive in and remove the mystery behind these 3 common mistakes. Number 1, your agent. The real estate industry is filled with traditional brokerages, discount brokerages, online brokerages, hundreds of apps, and total confusion. I am not here to tell you what solution is right for you, but I can tell you that if I had to isolate the single biggest mistake San Carlos buyers make in pursuing a San Carlos home, it is the selection of their representation. The importance of selecting a very local, experienced agent cannot be overstated. This is true now more than ever. Prior to leaving my career as an attorney 15 years ago, I never would have believed this, but the selection of who will head this very important search for you is significantly more important than it appears to most buyers. With more and more of our properties selling off-market each year, buyers need to put themselves directly in the stream of all available properties. This means your agent should be totally tied into the network of on- and off-market properties. This isn't a knock on agents who are not local to San Carlos, as there are many fantastic agents who are more than capable of completing a transaction here. But it is also unreasonable to think that a non-local agent is going to be completely tied into our hour-by-hour happenings on the San Carlos market. In a town like San Carlos that is starved for inventory, it is the buyer who gets the short end of the stick if their agent is not totally submersed in daily opportunities. Selecting one of the top hyper-local agents for San Carlos is critical and ensures the buyer's best odds for a positive and successful purchase. Remember, it is your agent who will present the offer to the sellers. He or she needs to leave no doubt that you are the right buyer for their property. Rarely is this the type of comfort and confidence inspired through an app or an agent that is not familiar with how San Carlos truly works. 2, understanding San Carlos. When new buyers reach out to me, they typically fit into one of 2 categories. 1, buyers who are relatively new to San Carlos, but know that this is where they want to be. And 2, buyers who have been searching for a home in San Carlos unsuccessfully and have become frustrated with outside representation. With both of these groups of buyers, the first step for me is taking the time to educate them about San Carlos. No one should be asking you to make a decision to purchase a $2 million home before you possess the data points necessary to make an informed decision and feel good about doing so. I have found that some buyers want a very deep level of education on the market, while others just want the basics. So I adapt to whatever is preferable for my buyers. Either way, I always make sure they feel like they are educated on the market and process prior to making an offer. Education of the San Carlos market is more than looking at a list of comps. It is the ability to explain, street by street, and in some instances block by block, the value proposition. It is the ability to know when some comps should not be used for analysis because a buyer overpaid by $200,000 in a multiple offer situation. It is the ability to add off-market pending properties to an analysis to more correctly value the subject property. And finally, it is a general awareness of trends within San Carlos as to how certain neighborhoods will be affected 5 and 10 years down the line with regard to city growth, school assignments, and changes to city construction laws. 3. Offer packaging. When inventory is as low as it is today, and there is more than one buyer for every property, a multiple offer situation is likely to decide the next owners of a particular property. These situations can feel intimidating for buyers. However, a closer look may have you feeling just a bit more relaxed. One key piece of advice that I tell all of my clients is this: you usually do not need to be the highest offer, but you do need to be the best offer. What exactly does this mean? It means that while price is always king, there are other factors that smart listing agents use to help their sellers select the right offer. Keep this in mind. When a property takes on a multiple offer situation, it is asking all potential buyers to submit their best offer package. All of the property's momentum carries them to the date of multiple offers. If the seller selects an offer that later falls out of contract, the property will be forced to go back on the market without any momentum and will usually find it far more challenging to find an offer that was anywhere near the offers that it received on the original due date. Therefore, certainty of close is a primary factor for listing agents and sellers. In other words, what are the odds this offer is going to actually close on time and without issue if we choose this particular offer to work with? What exactly makes you the best option? It is likely a combination of many different factors. 1. Purchase price. Again, you do not need to be the highest, but are you in the ballpark? 2. Financing. Is your financing being handled by a local, very reputable and known banker? 3. Contingencies. Have you done your homework on the condition of the property and have a good understanding of deferred maintenance? 4. Offer packaging. In other words, is your offer being presented properly by your agent to the listing agent and seller? 5. Knowing the seller's needs. Have you uncovered the needs of your seller? These may not be readily known or obvious, but knowing them and finding a way to address them in your offer can help your offer stand out. And lastly, 6. Persuasiveness. Based on your interactions with your agent, do you believe that they can be persuasive enough in a competitive offer presentation in front of the seller and listing agent to get you the property? Do not let multiple offer situations intimidate you. I have been involved with hundreds of multiple offer situations, and here is what I have learned. It can feel daunting for a buyer if your agent tells you that the property you want to bid on has 5 other offers coming in. However, the reality is something quite different. In fact, if there are 5 offers on a property, it likely looks something like this. Offer number 1 will be packaged correctly, nicely presented, realistic on price, and well represented. Offer number 2 will be packaged correctly, nicely presented, somewhat realistic on price, and well represented. Offer number 3 will be missing forms, unrealistic on price, not presented at all, rather it will be emailed in, and not well represented. Offer number 4 will be missing forms, unrealistic on price, and have an unprepared agent. Offer number 5 will be missing forms, be turned in after the deadline, unrealistic on price, and have poor representation. Most listing agents who do a lot of business in San Carlos would likely agree with this common scenario with regard to multiple offers. What this means is that in all reality, when a seller evaluates the offers in totality, you are not up against 5 other offers. You are likely only up against 1 or 2. I have explained some very high-level thoughts about offer packaging, but the truth is that the packaging aspect for an offer is much more detailed and nuanced and should be carefully worked through with your agent. San Carlos is a wonderful place to live. Prior to making the jump, make sure you are well represented, well prepared, and have a finely tuned strategy.